Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be.
Here was the game that took me past 2000 Elo on chess.com. I was 5 rating points short. When I booted up the game, a win would have given me 8 points. It would have been devastating to lose, but let's see how the game went. My opponent started with e4, so I responded with my trusty Caro-Kann defense. Knight f3 and d5. Takes, so an exchange Caro-Kann with d4. Knight to c6, just developing the knight. Bishop to e2, I played bishop to g4, and now knight e5 is a slight inaccuracy. I take the bishop, and with queen takes, now I think a little bit, and I can grab the free pawn in the center of the board. Queen attacks my knight. I wonder what's the best move, but I simply just retreat my knight and allow an exchange, and I'm simply up a pawn. So it's a good position. My center is secure. I can get it nice and secure with e6, develop my bishop, castle, and we're all fine. He did play c4, not c5, to try and undermine my center, but when he exchanges pawns, I've just simply got a passed pawn down the middle of the board that I can use hopefully in the future as an asset and cause him some real problems. He plays h3, which is a bit of a slow move. Now I can play rook b8, and he's forced to make a decision here. He can either push the pawn forward, drop the queen back, or bring one of the rooks to defend. He elects to push the pawn, which according to the engine is the best move. Here I played knight to d7, inviting an exchange of bishops, which I got, and now rook ae1. Now threatening various attacks by the knight on the d5 pawn, so I can just move my queen out the way. But after queen to g3, which is a slight inaccuracy according to the engine, but it does keep eyes on the rook, so there are various tactical points where if this rook becomes undefended because I move my knight, there are problems, like knight to c5, because my opponent finds the best move rook to c1. Now here I took some time calculating, because I can't just leave this rook here. I should move it, because playing rook c8 is a devastating decision, because there's simply knight takes d5. It hits the queen, and it would have been a brilliant move, and he had set this up. If I took the knight, then he can play rook takes knight, getting my knight, and now I'm unable to capture because of the hanging rook and the hanging back rank mate. So knight takes d5 would have been devastating to blunder. Thankfully I didn't. I brought the right rook to c8, or the correct rook rather. And here my opponent played queen to f3. Devastating for him because I simply trade, and now I can play knight to d3. The rook can't defend the knight. You say, what do you mean? There's rook to c2. No, I have d4. That d4 pawn that I won so early on in the game, it is the savior, because now the knight or the rook will fall, and I am now 2000. Rapid Elo on chess.com.